Welcome to More Than Renovating, a renovate and real estate podcast. Our founder, Belinda Smith, talks to industry experts to provide you with the knowledge and information you need to make renovating for love and profit your reality. Belinda will also chat to some of her Renovation Mastery members, who are just everyday people doing extraordinary things, following their passions in the renovation and property space. So, let's jump straight into the episode. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Belinda Smith from Renovate and Real Estate, and today my special guest is Karen King. Hi Karen.
Hi, how you going?
Well, thank you. Karen is from Kalgoorlie. Karen has ventured into the renovation and the property investment space, in fact, over many, many years. She runs a stained glass workshop. She's crafty and creative. So I just thought I'd have a talk to Karen about where she's at in her renovation journey right now, where she thinks she's heading, where I'd like to see her head,
Yeah.
and what doing up homes means for Karen and her family. Welcome, Karen.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, where did it all start for you? What drew you to renovation in the first place, Karen?
Okay. Feels like 100 years ago, but we bought a house that was built in 1910. So I think renovation was just drawn to us rather than us drawn to renovation.
Yeah, that happened.
I've always loved old houses, old clothes, old furniture, and we were drawn to this old 1910 house, and we've been renovating ever since.
So where was that house?
That is actually in a small country town of Owen in South Australia.
Right.
I've liked houses and rearranging furniture and everything since I was about 12 years old. I think Mum and Dad used to go shopping on a Saturday morning and they'd come home and the lounge was moved around and the pantry was cleaned out, and I don't know, strange 13-year-old.
Oh, that's all right. I was just as strange. I was painting my furniture from white to this weird olive green. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If your parents let you explore a little bit like that, that's just
Yeah.
awesome. That's where it's come.
Yeah.
So that house
Yeah.
that you bought, the 1910 house, which needed
Yes.
was that your first property? Is that the first one you?
That was our first property, and we've still got that house.
Oh, how lovely.
So 27 years later.
Yeah.
So it's in South Australia.
Right.
So that was our first house. We've really only totally renovated two houses, and that was that house and the one we're in Kalgoorlie now. So I think two totally different renovations for us, because we were kind of kids. You know, we're only 22 years old when we bought our first home.
Yeah.
And to now, you know, I think the difference, especially in myself, or even in Graham, you know, the difference in us now compared to then, you know, what we've learned and likes and dislikes. I mean, when we first bought that house, I think I thought painting was renovating.
Painting a new carpet.
I was just like, let's get this paint, and slapping it on and just loving it, and then realising that I probably should have sanded that woodwork beforehand. And, you know, yeah. So we've definitely learned a lot in our time.
Yeah, so did we. I think nothing beats getting on the tools and having a go. You learn most.
That's it.
We all learn through our courses, but you learn most things.
Of course.
In the
Hands-on.
Hands-on. Yeah. And so property investing, you've bought and sold a few around and about over the years?
Well, our main thing really has been buy and hold.
Yeah. No,
we've got a couple of houses in Adelaide, and we've got this one in Kalgoorlie. We've really just bought and hold, done a bit of renovations and hang on to them.
Okay, hang on to them because
although I would love to do a flip.
Yeah. Yeah, we've spoken about that. Do you hang on to them because the rent pays for the expenses, as in your holding fees?
Yeah, pretty much. Originally, our first investment property is what actually sent us to Kalgoorlie. We bought our first investment property in Adelaide, looking at just buying and holding.
Yeah.
And Graham had an accident going to clean it before we got our first tenants in there.
Yeah.
So that ended up sending us to Kalgoorlie because of work-wise. So pretty much buying and holding for our future, which is probably getting closer now than I was thinking back then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So retirement's sneaking up. When would you like to retire? What does retirement look like for you and Graham?
Oh dear, we really don't know at this stage. We've got family in Adelaide, we've got family in Perth. Well, we're just planning our wedding.
I know, I loved it. Just to let everybody know that they've been together all over these years.
42
Now
years.
finally decided to get married, which is lovely.
Ah,
Adult kids find it quite amusing.
that's right, they do. We just keep telling people we just realised we've just decided that we actually like each other,
other.
so we better get married.
He's the one.
Yeah, he's the one. So our two boys are married and our daughter's planning on 25. So we thought we'll sneak in before her
Yeah.
and get married next year. So
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, so
Okay.
besides trying to plan retirement, we're planning the wedding at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's life, and it's all good fun.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
truth is something always gets thrown up at
It
us.
does.
And sometimes if we put things off because it's not the perfect time, we don't do anything. That might explain why you waited 40-something years.
Oh yeah, I always put it off. I'd rather build a pergola. I'd rather
Yeah,
take the kids on holiday.
Well,
Rather
yeah.
put new carpet in the house.
yeah, then have a great big wedding. So that's totally fine. That's totally
Yeah.
fine. So for you, it's like retirement's getting closer. You've already got some properties under your belt. You also have a business. You're
Yes.
a long, long, long way from being lazy. You have a business.
Oh, totally.
And that
Well, I have two now. So I have my stained glass business and I'm pumping on, trying to get my renovation consultancy business happening in Kalgoorlie. So that's sort of what I'm working on at the moment, besides doing classes and planning my classes ahead.
I know we've spoken a lot, and I'm all for just increasing the income you have your hands on right now to make the transition into renovating full-time much easier. So just from a perspective of being able to have some freedom with lending, just being able to get your hands on more money and just to make it easier. So it's, creating wealth, I think, is multifaceted. It's not just one thing, and certainly can be one thing eventually, but at the launch phase is definitely saving more and looking at where all the money is disappearing and increasing income, increasing savings, making yourself look great for the banks, and then really plotting out what, in your case, your renovation consultancy business might look like. You're already talking to a client, and
yes, I am.
and she wants you to do what for her, do you think?
Well, she's planning on doing her inside and outside painting and also some renovations because she's planning on selling in July next year. So that will definitely keep me busy. So just touching base with her and getting some ideas on what her look is and how much she wants to spend. So
just the budget and her plans.
Yeah,
so why do you think that as a local renovation consultant in Kalgoorlie, people are going to want to call you? I don't mean that in a mean way. Why would they call you, Karen?
It's a very busy town as far as work goes. So people are, I think most families are two income families.
Yeah.
So I'm finding a lot of people have got more money than time.
Yeah.
So I think that's one reason why I think I'm hoping I do well.
Yeah.
But I feel quite confident. I think that's the main reason, that there's just more money than time.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
most families work.
Yeah. You can organise things like, ordering the paint, choosing colours. Some people have got no idea about
That's right. And everything's so local, it's so close, it's 10 minutes to the other side of town to get the tradies to come. I know they're busy, obviously, they're busy everywhere.
Yeah.
But all your jobs are close. So, you've got a little bit more chance, I think, of getting them to your job, more so than, in the city where jobs are, the traffic's worse, the jobs are further away. I just feel like we're going to do well.
I think you're going to do well too for all of those reasons. All of those reasons. People have got money, time, they're busy. They should be spending their time doing what they do best, and you to help them do what.
All the products are there. We've got the tile shops, we've got Bunnings, we've got Mitre 10, we've got paint shops, we've got decor shops. So all the supplies are there, as long as the supplies are in the shops. But if you work in advance, you can make sure that those supplies are there ready for when you ask.
That's fantastic. What are your special skills in relation to, I'll say DIY?
Okay. So, well, I find now one of Graham's is something that he could never do before. I don't know, I think he definitely wasted at least one full cornice trying to work out how to cut cornice.
Cut the angles.
Seriously. Now he's like the expert cornice cutter.
Cornice cutter.
I like doing everything, but I think my expertise is cutting in. I've got a very steady hand. I think it's just the cutting it. Graham can slap it on and I can cut it in.
Yeah. And when it comes to that kind of stuff too, I know that you've got a great eye. You are creative. So tell me how you think running your stained glass business and your workshops helps when it comes to renovating.
Well, it's given me a hell of a lot more confidence with other people.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever really lacked confidence, but I think I've learnt how to speak to different people. Yeah, everyone's so different, so many different personalities. And I think learning to adjust to who you're talking to, I think that's really helped me with my business, because when I first started my business, I was so nervous, getting in front of, 15 people or whatever. Oh, a lizard just ran across the table.
Keep going.
So I think associating with different people and just getting to know their, getting in the feel of them. But when I first started, I was really nervous about having all these people standing in front of me. And even though I knew what I was talking about, I just found it really daunting, I guess.
Yeah. And
but
so
no problems now.
Not now. What kind of workshops do you run and whereabouts do you run them?
Well, there's 4 of us actually, 4 different artists. So we all teach something different, and we have our own studio in the main street of Kalgoorlie, and we all run workshops from there. We have our own calendar, so we don't tread on each other's toes. We've got the whole run of the place when we're there, and whether it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we all put on a bit of a spread, some nibblies and some wine and soft drink, tea and coffee, and teach our own classes. And mine is stained glass. So my next workshop is we're doing a nice big bumblebee. But I do all sorts of stuff, from useless, decorative things to useful decorative things.
Right. So how do you see renovating on the side as fitting in with your already existing lifestyle?
Well, hopefully my renovating side will overtake my stained glass side, but I will still make time to have classes because we have our studio. So work around when I'm busy and when I'm not, whether I have days off. I mean, because I still work full time on the train. So my days off, I have my classes. And Graham says, oh, so see you next week.
I know you're a busy lady, and it's off to you and everybody else who can renovate and can do a business launch in amongst their busy lifestyles. But you know the saying that if you want something done, you give it to the busiest.
Exactly.
You can fit
exactly.
it.
For sure.
Is this something you and Graham are planning to do together?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because our house in Kalgoorlie now, we've pretty much finished. You can always add something here or change a colour there, but we're pretty much finished there. So we're renovating a caravan, but we're almost finished that too. It's just a little tiny 2-berth. We thought we'll renovate it.
Flipping vans. Okay.
Flipping van, yeah.
It's funny we giggle about that, but there's quite a bit of money in flipping vans.
Oh, yes,
there's people who do
definitely.
vintage vans and also tiny homes and so
for sure.
anything goes. Once you learn the skills and you have the base business skills to get something going, anything goes. Anything goes.
Definitely.
What has having renovation skills provided you?
Oh, honestly, I think beautiful family home twice.
Yeah.
Skills to pass on to my children, like they can see that we're hard workers and we're into it. And I know they've admired our stuff in the past and what we're doing. So besides a beautiful family home is encouragement for the family as well.
And every time I
A
talk
lot
to
of,
you, you've been to another open for inspection, or you're speaking to local agents, or they're telling you that there's other properties for sale. Are you open
yeah,
to buying another investment property at this time?
I'd love to. Yeah, I would love to. Definitely. Like I said before, I would definitely like to do a flip,
Yeah.
or even maybe buying a block of land and doing a shipping container home, something like that.
Yeah.
Lots of places around, with vacant land and nice places. Like even when we go on the train to Perth,
Yes.
the beautiful, the rivers along the way and the little towns along the way. There's so many pretty places and not too far from the city either. So we're thinking even something like that, a shipping container on some land somewhere close to the city.
So I know that you're a great networker, and I just mean that you are front and present in your local community. And when you go out to tile shops and carpet stores and flooring
Yep.
stores and paint shops and the hardware, that you're really happy to talk about what it is that you do. Do you think that just being vocal and being proud of what you do presents opportunities or brings opportunities your way?
Definitely. Talking about it, even at work, just talking about it, I meet people that are, oh, no, is that what you do? Oh, I know someone. There's always someone that knows someone who needs some help or some advice or some muscle. There's people everywhere. It's crazy. It's because Kalgoorlie is such an old town. Just driving around town and looking at the houses, I think, oh, there's so many places that need some help. You
Yeah.
need my help.
Yeah,
So
there's
yeah,
older homes everywhere.
it's so good.
Well, I see you
But
as being
inspirational
the
too.
renovation consultant, the go-to girl in your town in a very,
Oh, I
very
hope so.
short time. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, first client on the
That's
way,
what
and
I'm
then
looking forward
off
to.
you go. Yeah. And
Yeah,
as soon
definitely.
as I think you do some work with this first client, when that starts, and then other people
Yeah,
notice what you're doing or ask her,
for
or
sure.
she says to her friends, oh, I hired Karen and she's
Exactly.
amazing. Yeah, we really
Exactly.
take off.
I know it's going to happen. It's just, I got to make it happen.
Well, you already are. I know you are. Because
Yeah, that's it.
you're a doer. That's all it takes.
Yeah,
Okay,
thankfully.
so what's your biggest learning, do you think, from renovating so far?
Oh, wow. What is my biggest learning? I have written a couple of things down here, but
Refer to your notes. It's totally
what is my biggest learning? For me, I guess enjoying what you do.
yeah.
I think if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. But yeah, maybe pay someone else to do it.
Pay somebody else to do the tasks that you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
These are the things that you love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, even the worst jobs, this is what I always think. Well, today I've made so much money because I've done this myself.
Yes.
That's one thing. I'm a step closer to a beautiful environment. Just think positive and just enjoy what you're doing. Stick to what you enjoy.
I know that you're coming to our 3-day boot camp.
I am. I can't wait. Every
Yeah.
year I miss out, and definitely this year we're coming.
You're making
Although-
the journey this year.
Yes, I'm definitely coming.
So if you're making the effort from WA, I want all of my local students to make sure that they come. There are students in the
right.
Gold Coast, and if they don't come, they'll be in trouble.
That's it. I'm coming from the Goldfield, so they can come from the Gold Coast.
What do you think has been the difference that working with a community and working with a property coach has been?
Oh my God, it's been fantastic. Endless learning and support. Besides the fact that I got to meet you. Well, I will get to meet you.
In person, we do everything via Zoom.
I think just the learning and the support, honestly, you can't go wrong.
What about the homework I give you? What about the tasks?
I love homework. I hated it at school, but I love it here. The Rare Group is fantastic for support and endless amount of learning. Can't go wrong. Seriously,
Awesome.
I love it.
What are your big goals for, let's just say, the next 18 months or so? Where do you want to be?
Okay, so for this next year, well, I definitely want my business up and running. I'm working hard on that.
Yeah, that's an open.
That's right. Wedding plans. Oh my God, I didn't think I'd be doing that at 59 years old.
It's fantastic.
and my classes. And Graham's 60th is actually in December this year. So I've got lots of things going on, and the Gold Coast.
You guys are active.
Yeah, I know. Busy as.
Yeah, busy.
That's all right, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
okay. That's the way I roll.
Yeah, it's the way I roll too. For anybody who would like to connect with Karen, you know she's in Kalgoorlie. There are lots of amazing property opportunities in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
Something like a joint venture project, or if you wanted to do some investment and you want to contact Karen to help you in relation to getting some property on the ground or connecting with good local real estate agents, any of those things, you're really welcome to. Beyond that, she obviously has the capacity to run a renovation and improve that property that you do buy, so you wouldn't even have to lift a finger. And she's amazing at what she does. I think it's your background in creativity, your stained glass background, and the fact that you have been doing bits and pieces with furniture and flipping rooms around since you were 13.
Yeah.
That it's a gift. It really is a gift.
Yeah.
So
guys, something you love. I love.
Yeah. You can reach out to Karen. You can find her on Instagram at K and GH Group. So that's the letter K and GH Group on Instagram and also on Facebook. So you can reach out to Karen directly and tell her you heard her on the podcast. So thank you, Karen. Another session of our More Than Renovating podcast. In the end, property is our vehicle. This is about life's journey. It is about people and how they get going, and everybody has a different story and everyone's running at their own pace. So thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you, Belinda.